On today's episode of Locked On Avalanche, Martin Necas gets his first goal with the Avs. Mackenzie Blackwood gets his first shutout with the Avs. The St. Louis Blues go home losers. It's going to be a good show. New episode of Locked On Avalanche coming at you.
Your Locked On Avalanche, your daily podcast on the Colorado Avalanche. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Locked On Avalanche podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chris Maselli. With me, as always, is Mr. Shaggy Von Doom, Kyle Sullivan. Thank you for tuning in and making this your first listen of the day. Always appreciated. If you want to get in on the conversation, sign up for our subtext. Link to that's in the show notes below. And when you do chat with Kyle and I one-on-one, we get your opinion, everything Avalanche related, which we share on this very podcast. We're going to talk a little bit later about Cale Makar getting the A for Team Canada. Is that interesting? Or who did not get it? But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Where we're going to start, of course, is with this game that just finished up. The Avalanche 5-0 over the St. Louis Blues. First shutout of the season. Is it not for that? Like,
I know for Mackenzie Blackwood it is.
I think it's all season, dude. Like I didn't have a chance to go back and just flip through the schedule, but I would have remembered talking about a shutout with you. It's February essentially, and the Avalanche got their first shutout of the season.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look because I think Juice had one early.
No, man. I don't think so. If you want to effort that, please feel free. But I'm pretty confident in that this is their first shutout of the season. The fact that we have to go look it up and that they don't have Connor Hellebuck, what's he got, 6 or 7 already?
Yeah, no.
That just tells you it's been rough going for the. It's no secret, obviously, but yeah, to get one for Blackwood to finally get one is good, but. This game was pretty much won in the first period. That was just an dominating of a period, as you can see. 4 goals in that period. I messaged you after that the first period after the 4th goal saying you might get your 10 here, Mr. Sullivan.
I was waiting for it. If it wasn't for that second period lull, we were on pace.
Yeah, well, you could tell that they not that they took the foot off the gas. It was just now we just got to play smart. Don't do anything dumb. Don't give them easy goals or anything like that. They didn't give many goals, but I thought this was a first period was just in overdrive, and then everything else you were just in command. So,
and for those that were desperately seeking as well, they shut out the Devils 4-0 in December.
Oh, what was I on? I was in Disney then, right?
Yep.
I think. Yes. So that's why it's not coming to my. You're right. Okay.
Fastest fingers in podcasting, baby. No, that was, and there's so many. We're gonna break it down. There's so many really good things that you see in this. And this was a divisional matchup, and you're back at home. You got to see the team. It looks like they were rested. Like this team looks like they're rejuvenated. There's a spark. And yeah, that second, there was a little bit of kind of relaxing, just kind of it was still a good period, but it wasn't that fast, furious, crazy first period that you got. And in the third, the effort was still there. You felt like it was about to go off again. They netted one late, but that was a great effort. Power play's alive. Nate just looks great. Blackwood, first shutout of many, probably more to come. This is what you want to see. This is the Colorado Avalanche that we know is underneath all of the sleepy, they had the sleep in their eye, kind of groggy effort that we've seen night in and then take it night off, night out. But it's this is what you want. This is what you could believe this team could be. And then they're only going to get better from here.
Well, you heard the comments from Jared Bednar before this game. And it started right after the last game, the last loss that they had. To the Islanders, and he was like, yeah, we played well in our 3 road games, but we have 1 win to show for it. And he basically was like, I'm getting tired of it. You're kind of, I don't want to say used to it, but maybe you are used to the Avalanche just usually coming out on top of these tight games. But they haven't been this year. And it's been win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. You know, you're like my cousin Vinny. It's like win some, lose some. It's like, and he's just getting tired of it. And it's like we have to put in, you know, maximum effort, and we got to start collecting points here. It's not like they're about to fall out of a playoff spot, but you know, if these games that you should be winning are you lose one here or there, and you never know, the teams that are behind you could catch you, and you're not expecting that to happen. So it's time to just like put up or shut up, stop with the back and forth, impose our will. We know we're a good solid team. You can't the comment that I put up from him after that Islanders game, someone asked him the question, like, you're going to give these guys like a little bit of a break or downtime. I can't remember how the question was asked, because at the beginning of that road trip is when the deal was made for Mikko. So then they had to do the road trip. So he asked Bednar, like, you're going to give him like some relaxation or downtime or whatever. And he was like, no, like now is go time. And I think that message, you could tell, really hit home with these guys. It is, you know, he said he was treating these games. There's 5 games before the break for the Four Nation. And he said he was treating them like a playoff round. So I agree with that in the sense of like it's desperation time maybe, but I don't agree with it as like if it's a 5-game playoff round, you only have to win 3 out of 2. I want to win more than that. I want to win 4. So, I get this sentiment. I get what he was saying. We have to start playing more consistent right now. No more waiting around and this back and forth stuff.
Yeah, and you know, this is kind of a perfect storm of desperation for the Colorado Avalanche, because currently, right now, we're recording right after this game is over, the Avalanche has 62 points. They are 4 points back in Minnesota. Utah is behind them, 51 points. Like there's a gap there, but you're sitting at 4th in the Central. You're currently your Colorado Avalanche, just to remind everybody, are currently a wild card team. Like you're dancing on the bubble with Calgary. So yes, the win-loss is going to either keep you there or get you knocked out. So it is kind of playoff mode from here on out. And you mentioned the Mikko deal, and they just announced what the cap is going to look like from here on out and going forward. So now there's a little bit of the questions are back up, like, oh, you couldn't afford, you couldn't do. And now the pieces are moving in the league. Trades are going on as we hit record. Like trades are happening right now. The teams in front of you are improving. So you have to start winning here and now, because everything's in motion, and dropping those games that you did in January, this is where you put the pressure on yourself, and it is win now mode. 5-0 is a good commanding lead. And we'll see what you do tomorrow, Sunday, against the Philly Flyers.
Yeah, because you know you play off of that first period, and that's like you said, like that's what this team is capable of. Just everything was there in that first period. Power play goals. You had some nice hits going around on both teams. You know, St. Louis is going to be a pretty physical team, but you know this was a good division win, a good division matchup. So you had. The first period was just, man, that's I would like to see more of that.
Yeah.
When's the last time we really had like a nice, like you just set the tone in the first, just blow them out of the water, and for the rest of the time I want to say that like coast, but not in a bad way. Like you still had multiple opportunities. With the shots on goal for the first period, 21-6. So,
and you've been settling for games with 20 shots. You've been like you went to war and settled with 20 shots, and you got that in the first period.
And then 9-8 in the second in favor of the Avs, and 6-5 in the third in favor of the Avs. So you could tell they were the ones who were really just kind of like you know, we got the lead. We're going to play the lead. We're going to roll lines, and we really have to screw up here for us to kind of blow this lead. And you look at the time on ice, that's all exactly kind of where you want it to be. No one's doing, who's got the most? Nathan MacKinnon. So your top line, McKinnon, Lehkonen, and Necas were all over 20, but just over 20. Not the 24, 25. Everybody's in. Who the lowest was Parson at 938, and that's the lowest by a lot. Most people are in like the 12 and up. Wow, Casey Middlestat 1021. Low day for him on ice. Wow. But overall, this is what you want, and I know that comes with having a lead. But I think he'd like to do that even if the game was tight, even if you're up 1-0, not putting so much mileage on these guys right now.
And you know what? And we'll get to it, because something else that stood out to me about this game is something that we heard just last week, and I want to get to that after the break.
All right, and we got to definitely talk about. We mentioned him, but Martin Necas is still. We're still going to keep talking about it. Still fitting in very nicely. So we'll do that. And of course, our sound check a little bit later. Oh, hang on. Wrong one. There we go. Wrong. Then there it is. Game time. All right. Let's, if you're looking for tickets to your next big event, whether it is a concert, comedy show, or sports game, finding the right ticket at the right price can be a headache. But with Game Time Picks, it's never been easy. So let me tell you how this works with Game Time Picks. The app does all of the hard work for you. It curates the best deals, so you don't have to waste time searching through endless ticket listings. Kyle and I, we've been using Game Time Picks for some time now. Some of the good things about it, like we said, the curated deals make it super easy and simple to find great tickets at a great price. No more sifting through thousands of options. And the seat view is a game changer. Let me tell you about that. You just scroll through like you're just doom scrolling you normally do on your phone, but you can do it with seat from the sections right there before. You don't have to click multiple times to go into the section, then the seat, and then see the seat view. It's got the section view right there as you're scrolling. It's a thing of beauty. Absolutely. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account and use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. So again, create the account and redeem the code LOCKEDONNHL, LOCKEDON NHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. All right. Continue talking about this. Very nice, comfortable, easy 2.50 win for the Avalanche over the Blues. You were going to allude to something before the break. So what do you got?
What did Chris McFarland say was part of the reason they had to trade Mikko out of here? What was the number one concern with this roster construction?
He said they weren't deep enough.
Jonathan Drouin, 2 goals on the night. Kivi Ranta, a name we haven't got to talk about in a while, he put the bookend on this. You got Cale Makar sprinkled in there, and a guy we're about to talk to with Martin Necas. Mm-hmm. Like, who did we not talk about? Nathan MacKinnon. Not on this list. You won the game 5-0. This is where the depth and where they want this team really scoring is past the line of Nathan MacKinnon, past the line of Cale Makar. And you get to see Jonathan Drouin explode in a quiet 2-goal night, one of which were on the power play. So this is why the effort and the attention is on the depth, because you want the guys that aren't on the posters and not on the back of everybody's jerseys going into Ball Arena. You want them to score as well, because when teams shut down those goal scorers that will hurt you, when you can do that through lines 2 through 4, then you improve your chances.
And that's piggybacking off of that. Parsonen had an assist, so he chips in. McKinnon did have an assist along with Lehkonen. They both had assists, and then on the defensive side, Keaton Middleton had an assist. So there you go. So it's coming from both sides. Like you're getting goals and assists in this game from your depth guys. That only just makes the work for your top guys just that much easier.
The more Keaton Middleton settles in, the more I believe he is Curtis McDermott's cousin.
There's moments where I just have a fleeting thought of like, man, McDermott, what are you doing? Oh no, It's not him anymore. Yeah, no, you're not kidding. Yeah. So Martin Necas, it was so important for him to get off to a good start with this team. And I know there's, a honeymoon period whenever a move is made, whether it's a head coach or a goalie. And we've seen that, the goalie side of things with both Wedgwood and Blackwood. And now with a trade like this, with both guys in Martin Necas and Jack Drury. I hesitate to say that it's a honeymoon period because he's a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we were giving him enough credit because of what was leaving. We're kind of focused on that, which is totally, totally understandable. And we weren't really taking into account how well he fits with this team. And I think it was so important for him to get off to a good start. And it doesn't have to be just, goal scoring, but it's, it came in assists to start and facilitating and making the power play look better. So it just eases the mind of Avalanche fans a little bit to start. He's got to do, and I hate to say this, he's got to do this for as long as he's with this club, because that's what Mikko Rantanen did. So there's no days off for a guy like Martin Necas. He's got to perform, and I think it's maybe a little bit easier for him to do that when you're playing on a line with Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar's usually out there too. You just have to play your game, and the points will come, and you'll look really good, which he is right now. So I'm you got to be happy with how he's playing, and I'm happy for him because he doesn't have to hear like, oh God, like he came in and he's not doing anything, and this is who we traded Mikko Rantanen for. No, he scored that goal, and the announcement for the goal, the crowd went crazy for it.
And see, I think something else that we're underestimating, and you're hearing this I know there are Avalanche fans that are like keeping eyes on Mikko and what he's doing in Carolina.
Sure.
The same's going back the other way. Carolina is also missing Necas. Like what he brought to Carolina was a big thing. And there's something about Marty and how he plays. It's almost like when Ozzy left Black Sabbath, you're like, oh, well, he was good with Black Sabbath. But then you hear Ozzy do like Crazy Train. You're like, whoa, this is different. This is new. Yeah. And then Ozzy's getting to do things he couldn't do in Black Sabbath. That's what Necas is. He feels fresh, rejuvenated. Like he was a good player in Carolina, but you could see him like it was the first shift of the game. Like he went for a pass that got gummed up, but if it went through, it was a surefire goal to Nathan MacKinnon. Mm-hmm. And it got gummed up and they had to go to the faceoff. And you could see him talking to Nathan MacKinnon with a smile on his face, like, you knew what I was trying to do there. And they were like laughing it off. And I'm like, my God, you haven't been here that long. And you guys are already working like this. And you're happy and like you're upbeat. And you see it in his style. He's like lightning out there. He's everywhere. And to see it pay off and get that goal in front of Ball Arena where he feels welcome to this team and these fans, that's a huge moment for him.
It's huge, massive. And the goal he had was just... It was beautiful. I mean, he just took the pass. Was it from who? He took the. I can't remember. Was it Taves? I think it was a pass from Taves.
Yep, it was Taves and Lecky was the secondary.
And he just comes into the. I'm still just. I love watching him carry the puck into the zone. He's just so confident in doing that, and it was right in the slot. And there's basically the entire Blues team, in one way or another, kind of surrounding him, and he just finds a lane and rips it on net and for a goal. It was beautiful goal from him. So they can be a dangerous team with this guy in the mix, and you get a performance like that from someone like Jonathan Drouin. You need that stuff. You do. And I thought he had an excellent game. I thought he played an excellent game. He had the one that he batted the puck right out of midair. Just so difficult to do. And then he had another goal after. Like he played a solid game from top to bottom, I thought.
Yeah, and it's like in Drouin's that goal that you were referencing, it's like heads up. It's not fluky. It's being engaged in the play all the way to the whistle and not just throwing your head back and, oh, it's not working. Like seeing that level of engagement and this team working together and the synergy, that's the kind of stuff I've been looking for with the droughts that you've seen for so long in the month of January, when you see that synergy paying off in those greasy goals that we beg and plead and scream for all the time on this show, like now that you see it paying off, and then you're seeing Necas come into this, and then you're seeing Kivi Ranta, when he scores goals, they're loud. They're not just whatever goals, like they're always like really good goals, and that's another guy the team is cheering for. Seeing the team working like this is something you could believe in. You just want to see it keep rolling from here on out.
And we mentioned the shutout, but Mackenzie Blackwood, obviously you play a good game if you're getting a shutout. It's nice that what they have for total shots on goal. They only had 19 shots on goal. I'm wearing the Stanley Cup hoodie on right now. Like that's what that team did during that season. It was 20 shots or less on goal. And you do that for Mackenzie Blackwood, he will give you that performance night in and night out. When and that's true for a lot of goalies, right? But you surrender 30 plus, and it's a lot more difficult for a goalie to really kind of keep the opposition at bay. But even you're up, it's again maybe a little bit easier when you're up 4-0 because you can kind of cheat maybe a little bit back on defense. But so what? Like you knew that St. Louis is got to turn it on too. If they want to get back in the game, they need to engage offensively, and you prevented them from doing that, both with your defenders and with Mackenzie Blackwood. I thought he was fine. They only had one high danger shot against him, 2 medium danger shot attempts against him. So everything that they were getting, that's the Blues, was nothing out of the realm of like this sprawling save that Mackenzie Blackwood had to make. The overall, this whole thing was just a nice, easy win for the Avs, which is nice to see. You don't get them a lot right this year,
especially like you said, like 19 shots. And towards the end of the game, when you're getting blown out like that, you go to the bench and the messaging is clear. No matter what team it is, don't get shut out. Just don't get shut out. Just go net one. So for Mackenzie Blackwood to stand up to even those late desperation, like if they lost 5-1, it would be a softer loss for St. Louis and a whatever for Colorado. But Mackenzie Blackwood, and if you've only witnessed Avalanche games by listening to it on the radio or just watching the box score and you haven't seen Mackenzie Blackwood yet, his ability for crease control, his pads, his leg saves, just how he could go side to side so clean, his positioning on every single shot, it's a work of art, especially for what we've had before. Just watch the goals again or his saves and just watch him. Don't watch anybody else in the play. He is on top of it, and he is such an underrated member of this team right now. He is the heartbeat of this team.
It helps being tall too.
True. Yeah. I have no idea what that's like.
Yeah. All right. So we got some subtext people chiming in here. The Cale Makar A for Team Canada and our sound check. You're going to like this sound check. I can guarantee it. All right. Over on subtext, we got some people chiming in on this win for the Avs. Heather, this is what a game without any passengers can look like. Ooh, using the Jared Bednar terms. 2 for 4 with the power play and winning puck battles to get those shots on net was what we all want to see. Yeah, power play. I think you went 2 for your first 2 on the power play. So the second 2 you didn't score. What the heck? It's not working. Back to the drawing board. Fire Bednar. Get rid of McKinnon. Cody says Blackwood finally gets a shutout. I'm also pleasantly surprised with Necas so far. And Drouin with a 3-point night is always fun, along with Makar with the 1 shot on goal, 1 goal stat. That was the only shot on goal he had? Wow, man. That's that.
Hey,
wow.
You'll beat Georgie with those stats every night.
That's all it takes. Lisa says that was a great game. Avs came out and did exactly what they needed to do on a home ice against a bad team. Big night for Drouin, shutout for Blackwood, and what a pretty goal from Necas. Seems to me C-Mac knew exactly what he was doing with this trade. Also, congrats on your altitude debut.
Yeah, look at you.
We'll get to that later, but She threw me off with that. The CMAC thing. We'll talk about that. We're going to do something next week where we'll talk about the front office and how they're being viewed.
It's only appropriate you're going into you play Philly next. Just trust the process for just a little bit longer.
Yeah, so I'm not going to dive too deep into that now, but what Kyle said is true. So, overall, people feeling pretty good about this win, obviously. Cale Makar was just mentioned. Team Canada for this Four Nations tournament, they announced their captains, and Sidney Crosby gets the C, and Connor McDavid and Cale Makar get the A, which they are calling assistants in this tournament for some reason. They're not calling them alternates. I don't know why, what the reasoning for that, but they're calling them assistant captains. And Cale Makar gets the second A. Or I don't know if it's first or second, whatever. He gets one of the two A's. Were you a little surprised at that? Or did you think that was going to go to Nathan MacKinnon just because it's or maybe not even Nathan MacKinnon? I shouldn't even just throw him out there. Maybe I should phrase it this way: out of the two Avalanche players, would you expect Nathan MacKinnon would get it over Cale Makar?
No, Cale Makar, because you know what, they're highlighting the best. This is something, and Cale Makar's got like leadership qualities. And look, this is the best in the nations of hockey. Mm-hmm. Cale Makar is generational. Like, we've seen what Nathan MacKinnon can do. He's had his time in the sun. It's time to start highlighting Cale Makar for what he is, and he has international appeal. Everybody, we've seen Sid and Nate do Timmy Hortons commercials and all this other stuff. It's time for Cale to get the A and the respect he deserves. So, well-deserved Cale Makar.
Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with it. Obviously, like he's deserving of it. My mind always goes to like tenure in the league, and maybe that's unfair to Cale Makar for something like this. You know, Nathan MacKinnon has been in the league longer than Cale Makar, and he's never been able to. As long as Nathan MacKinnon's been in the league, he's never been able to do anything like this. He's never been able to play in the Olympics because they haven't. With COVID, and then they didn't have NHL players for a little while. Then COVID came, so and then it got canceled. So he hasn't been able to do this, and this is really the first time he's been able to have like a best on best type of tournament. I just thought for his first, it might go to him. I don't have a problem with it not. I don't think he has a problem with it not either. So that was my only thinking why they would do that. But you look at this team, and it's like you just can't assume that Nathan MacKinnon is going to get it. Like there's anybody on this team is deserving of it. Like they're just loaded. They're loaded. But there was a message from Coy on subtext, and he was like, he goes, I don't know how I feel about this. I really want to get like a Connor Hellebuck USA jersey, but is that going against like his Avalanche fandom? That's what I said. I'm like, go do it, man. Go do it.
Yeah, that's the one pass you can get. Like the All-Star jerseys. I say the All-Star jerseys are free and clear because you're not wearing really their jersey, and they're expired in a year. You go get it on sale. But no, and by the way, these Four Nations sweaters are just gorgeous.
Yeah, I like them all. Oh, I really do.
Word.
And nobody has white.
Yeah, I know. These are the best jerseys they've rolled out in a long time.
Yeah, there's no home and away. Everybody's wearing dark jerseys in this thing, which is a little bit crazy. So, and Dan says he has ordered his MacKinnon Canada jersey.
I've seen that, and they were available at Ball as well.
And Devontae is wearing number 5, by the way. Number 5, which I don't know why. I know he was 25 with the Islanders, I believe. Yeah, I think it was 25 with the Islanders. He came over here. He was 7. I don't know if 5 is when it was in juniors or something like that. I don't know. But he's wearing 5. I said MacKinnon should have went back to 22.
Yeah.
He should have went to 22 for the Mooseheads, but and he wanted to be 22 when he came to the Avs, but it was taken, so he just took 29. So, but we'll see. I'll probably get a couple. I don't know yet. I haven't decided, but I will probably get a few. All right, let's get to our sound check. And this is where Kyle and I pick one song each that summarizes the most recent game. These songs go up on a playlist over on Spotify, which you can follow along. Just search for LOA Soundcheck Volume number 4. These ones are going on. So what do you got here, sir?
This is going to be breaking news to everybody listening to the podcast. I hate the St. Louis Blues. I really do. Hey, Joel Hofer, goalie for the St. Louis Blues. Hey, Mackenzie Blackwood was in all game long for his shutout, and Hofer was left for all 5 goals against, so they really left him hanging on the line. Okay. So call Gloria. My sound check for this game is play Gloria. How does it feel to be on this side of it? I heard that all during that 2019 season. It was annoying. You tried doing it again in 2020. It's just nice to be on the other side of things.
That is your Matt Duchene grudge that you are holding against the St. Louis Blues, and I will not fault you for that.
Yeah, I've just lost all respect because of the Nas stuff.
Totally with you there.
And they just
100%.
It's just how it is.
Yeah. Is that going to be like every time they beat them? That's your.
If I could do a double, I would. Hey, we get to play them 3 more times. So.
I know. All right. Is there different versions of it? Is there like maybe just?
I'll have to start looking.
All right. Yeah. Start efforting that. So, all right. I'm gonna go with. So Lisa referenced the altitude broadcast. So I cracked a code here that I was then told is not the reason why he does it, but I don't care. I'm running with it. And what I came up with is much cooler than why he does it. Right.
Yep.
So Martin Necas wears number 88, and he is a fast skater, one of the fastest in the league. Who else goes really fast and is named Martin or Marty and also went 88? Marty McFly from Back to the Future. Cannot be a coincidence that his name is Martin and he wears 88, and Martin McFly went 88 in his DeLorean. So I put that up, and then Altitude posted it, which was kind of funny that they didn't post the whole thing, but which was cool. So because of that, and that is totally why he wears 88. I don't care who says anything, even if it comes from his own mouth. I don't care. He's wrong. He's wrong on why he wears 88. I am right because what I found is so much cooler than he's an Ovechkin fan. That's boring. The fact that you wear 88 and the DeLorean needs to go 88 miles an hour and you are a speed demon, that's where it's at, my man. So because of that, we are going from the Back to the Future movie, Huey Lewis in the News, The Power of Love, and it's all love right now for Martin Necas. So everything about that fits, and you're welcome. I think his nickname for me now is Martin the DeLorean Necas right there.
Let's call him McFly.
Could call him McFly.
Yeah, McDavid. You got McKinnon, McFly.
And Makar. Yeah. The M's.
The M&M's line.
Yeah.
But no, that's it. Like when you go back and listen to this on the playlist, like this was an epic win for the Avs, like a real like go-getter, and nothing's like more epic than Huey Lewis and Gloria.
Come on. I'm gonna end this show so I can go listen to those back to back right now. All right.
My daughter has been learning Gloria on the clarinet for
really.
I told her I was like, not in this house.
Yeah, she needs to go outside.
Yeah,
in the freezing cold.
We'll have to learn all the things.
Exactly. Learn that right away. Get that nasty vibe out of the house. I love it. So, all right. That is going to wrap it up for today, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and making this your first listen of the day. That is always appreciated. He is Mr. Shaggy Von Doom, Kyle Sullivan. I am Chris Maselli. This is the Locked On Avalanche podcast. Hey, trades are going on all over the place. So maybe you are one day closer to Sidney Crosby being in Avalanche colors.
He doesn't like the Blues either.
He doesn't like Gloria either.